Did you lose him? There he is.
Here he is.
Okay. Rewind, start again. I call to order the regular meeting of the Board of Trustees of the Warrenville Public Library District for Wednesday, September 16th. It is now 7:08 p.m. This meeting is held as a virtual meeting, given that the Illinois governor has declared the coronavirus pandemic a disaster. I have determined that an in-person meeting is not practical or prudent because of the disaster. First item, we will take attendance roll call. Trustee DeRocher.
Here.
Trustee Lazan. Here. Trustee Richardson.
Here.
Trustee Ritzika. Present. Trustee Stahl.
Here.
Trustee Warren.
Present. Audio, I was voting aye for the last vote that was taken. I was on. I heard it.
Trustee Pika is also present. Okay, I will need a motion to approve the agenda. Remember, if there is anything on the consent agenda that you wish to discuss or review, it should be removed and added to our new business section. We will not be removing the closed session tonight, so that'll remain. Is there anything anyone wants to change on the agenda?
I move that we approve the agenda.
Second.
Okay, motion was made by Trustee Stahl and seconded by Trustee Warren. Trustee DeRocher.
Aye.
Trustee Lazan. Aye. Trustee Richardson.
Aye.
Trustee Ritzika. Aye. Trustee Stahl.
Aye.
Trustee Warren.
Aye.
Trustee Pika also votes aye. Agenda is approved, motion carries. Director Whitmer, are there any presentations?
No presentations tonight.
Are there any public comments?
No public comments have been received.
Is there any correspondence?
No.
Then at this time, I'd like to ask Secretary Lazan to please read the consent agenda, the next item on our agenda tonight.
Consent agenda, approved minutes of the August 19th, 2020 regular Board of Trustees meeting. B, approved minutes of the August 27th, 2020 regular Board of Trustees meeting. C, receive and file financial report for August. G, approve annual statement of income and disbursements for fiscal year 20. E, adopt ordinance number 20-21-03 budget and appropriation ordinance for 2020 through 2021 fiscal year. F, adopt resolution number 219, resolution to determine estimate of funds needed for 2020-2021 fiscal year. G, approve fiscal officer certificate of estimated revenue for 2020 through 2021 fiscal year. H, approve public disclosure of total compensation posted for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2021, as required by Illinois Public Act 97-0609. I, approve payments of invoices in the amount of $32,412.39 for the period of August 20th, 2020 through September 16th, 2020, including electronic payments and checks 7844 through 7887. J, approved transfer of $150,000 from commercial checking accounts to operating checking accounts.
I move we approve the agenda, the consent agenda as read.
Second.
Motion was made by Trustee DeRocher and seconded by Trustee Richardson. Discussion.
Can I just ask, there was a small typo. Item 7B should actually be special Board of Trustees meeting minutes. So is it okay if we correct that in the reading and the motions? You're okay with that? I guess, okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
So the motion stands as corrected. We will need a roll call vote. Trustee Warren,
Aye.
Trustee Stahl,
Aye.
Trustee Ritzika,
Aye.
Trustee Richardson,
Aye.
Trustee Lazan,
Aye.
and Trustee DeRocher.
Aye.
Trustee Pika also votes aye. The consent agenda motion carries. There are no items under the regular agenda or unfinished business, so we will move to new business. Page 33 in your packet, first item, review the draft of the levy ordinance and truth in taxation notice. This is a discussion-only item. Are there any questions for our director? Okay. Anything you would like to add, Director Whitmer?
I'll just say, I think my notes pretty much explain everything. The levy that we are asking for is approximately 10% more than last year's extension. But we do that so that we don't miss out on capturing any new growth that we don't have specific numbers for at this time. Probably the estimate is that we'll see a net gain of about almost $65,000 in our levy extension next year. Most of that is due to some expected increase because of the new developments that are actually outside of the TIF district. So that's good news for us.
Okay. If there are no further comments or questions, we'll move on to item B, which is located on page 40 in your packet. This references the health insurance renewal, plan options, and premium sharing. So, on page 40, we have the suggested motion, which we should have on the table prior to discussion.
I move that we add the HMO plan to the medical insurance plans available to full-time library employees. 2, accept staff recommendation to pay 70% of the employee's individual monthly premium for the HMO and PPO 750 plans and pay 80% of the employee's individual monthly premium for the PPO 1500 and high deductible HSA plans. And 3, contribute $1,000 to each eligible employee's HSA account in 2 equal installments of $500 each, one in January and the second in July.
I second.
Who was the first female voice?
Barbara.
Thank you. Motion was made by Trustee Stahl and seconded by Trustee DeRocher. Discussion, questions for our director, any words of wisdom from our director?
I will just say that Jackie and I attended the renewal meeting yesterday, and the information that we've presented here in this report is accurate. Nothing had changed, but we are going to see a change in our medical insurance carrier as well as our dental insurance carrier. However, there will be no premium rate increase with that change. And Limerick, the group we're a part of, did a very good analysis to find that % of the primary care physicians that are used by employees in the Blue Cross Blue Shield plan are also in the new Aetna plan. So there's good coverage for physicians in the new plan. And open enrollment will be in November.
Any other things to discuss regarding this motion?
Yes, I had a question. What about spouse and or family, that is employee plus children?
The library has only budgeted to pay for a percentage of the employee's premium. So an employee who wishes to add a spouse or children or both is responsible for 100% of the premium for that family coverage.
I see. Is that the same coverage at the same rate as they had been paying last year?
Yes.
Okay.
And these premium charges that the library will ensue are budgeted adequately in our 21 budget, correct?
Correct. We actually budgeted for a 5% increase. So this is going to come in under budget.
Yes, maybe only a few cents.
Yeah, it's something.
Every little bit will help.
Right.
Any other questions, concerns, or comments? All right, we will vote then. Trustee DeRocher.
Aye.
Trustee Lazan.
Aye.
Trustee Richardson.
Aye.
Trustee Ritzika. Aye. Trustee Stahl.
Aye.
Trustee Warren.
Aye.
Trustee Pika also votes aye. This motion carries. Moving on to page 42 in your packet, which is to approve revisions to the COVID-19 addendum to the library use policy. And I think you'll find on pages 43, even pictures, all the way through to 46, I think it is, 45. 45. There are pictures and there are some details. So if I could have a motion on the table to,
Move that we approve revisions to the COVID-19 addendum to library use policy.
Second.
motion was made by trustee Richardson and seconded by trustee Warren. Discussion from anyone at this point? Questions or comments?
Are we putting the pictures up for people to see?
Yes, actually, Kathy is working on something that's a little larger format, so we can post that near the entrance. And those pictures have gotten good feedback from the staff. It's nice to have something
They can
a
point.
little more visible for people to
Yeah.
see.
And I did not know the mask with the vent or the valve is not
Yeah.
considered.
Yeah.
No, because you're breathing your air back out, which is
I
kind of
know,
productive.
but, yeah, it makes good sense, but I didn't think of it that way, so.
Yeah.
I have a question. I'm wondering what prompted these changes.
Oh, were you on the meeting last?
An individual came in with basically, I think, a nylon stocking, it looked like. And I think that staff did not even approach the person. I think they were shocked by it. And so they've asked for something more specific. We've also attended some continuing education programs about how we can manage the masks. And one of the suggestions was to have a very specific and detailed policy with these examples.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
I like the illustration.
I've seen one that was almost like bridal veil,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like somebody walking around with that. I'm like, what good is that?
I
Right.
still don't think people understand why we wear masks, but there's a whole other discussion.
Right.
So moving on, unless there are any other questions, comments, or concerns, Trustee Warren, how do you vote?
Aye.
Trustee DeRocher,
Aye.
Trustee Stahl,
Aye.
okay, Trustee Lazan,
Aye.
Trustee Richardson,
Aye.
Trustee Ritzika,
Aye.
Trustee Pika also votes aye. The revision is approved. I will turn the meeting over to our director for her report and any comments she wishes to add to her pages 46 and 47.
Sure. I think the most important things here are that we've moved our curbside operations up to the Stafford Place entrance. That appears to be going very well, and of course our curbside pickups have dropped off considerably since the library opened for grab-and-go service. We are back up to a 7-day quarantine for materials. The study came back and stated that after 6 days, the virus was still present on stacked materials, so that quarantine period has been extended. And for those of you, you can see all of our return materials here along the wall. On September 8th, just about a week ago, we reopened the drive-up book return, so that is now available for people to return their materials 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Hopefully that's a convenience that everybody appreciates. We did have an incident with our restroom where a person was not happy with our policy that we limited restroom use to patrons only. I did learn that several staff had made exceptions to that policy, which led me to consider lifting that restriction. So signs have been posted indicating that the restrooms are cleaned nightly and they are open to anyone who wishes to use them. We are not doing extra cleaning throughout the day for those restrooms. And then for a variety of reasons, we weren't able to extend the hours as we had hoped in September. But our plan is to extend hours by 2 hours a day, not starting October 1st. We're actually going to start it on a Monday, October 5th. So Kathy is working to get some publicity ready for that, and the staff will be working on that initiative in the coming 2 weeks. SWAN, we're working on our training for SWAN. That's ongoing. I did receive a response back from the city regarding our TIF reimbursement request. So I had a short discussion today with one of our attorneys to get some feedback, and I'll be meeting with them again in October as we negotiate the calculation of that reimbursement. Maybe we can come to an agreement on how that should work. And then the 2021 general election, a consolidated election, it's not the general election, it's the consolidated election. In April, we have 2 trustee positions that will be up for election at that time, Trustees DeRocher and Trustee Pika. So if either of you are interested in running for re-election, those packets are available here at the library. The petitions cannot be circulated prior to September 22nd. And if you're not interested in running, let us know so we can all invite others to run. I've got a rundown there of our Freedom of Information
I have a
Act.
question on that.
Oh, sure.
Will they be accepting online
No,
signatures?
No.
The state of Illinois has approved that for the general election.
I have not seen anything about that for the consolidated election.
So how are we supposed to get our signatures? We're actually supposed to go door to door or whatever?
That's what I've been told.
For the general election, they waived that to online because of the pandemic.
I have
That's
not.
why I asked about this.
I have not seen anything. If I would say you would need to look that up at the State Election Commission. There is nothing that I have seen in my packet for election officials that says anything about online petitions being acceptable.
Okay.
So I have
That
not.
might have been because we took it to court.
Yeah. So I have not seen anything about online petitions.
Or can you check with the DuPage County? I know it's now the county clerk's office, the election commission division, but I didn't know if that was worth checking with their website as well.
I just received an email from them on Monday. I haven't had a chance to look too deeply into it, and honestly, I won't be able to look into it until sometime in October.
Okay.
So
We've got plenty of time, things change
I
daily.
honestly, that doesn't impact me or the library until we have to accept those petitions in December. So at this point, it's really up to the individuals who wish to run for the seat to do their due diligence and see if that's an option. I mean, I can look at it too, but right now, that's not my, I guess, focus.
So is it still a requirement of 50 signatures?
Yes.
Approved signatures?
Registered voters.
Yes.
Would it be possible to put a table up in front of the library to catch patrons as they come in?
We have a policy that allows you to request to do that. So that policy is on our website.
Okay.
So that is an opportunity, yes. I think there are concerns, like Sandy says, I know Jerry's mentioned it to me, Barbara, you're probably thinking the same thing, that, you know, it's a different world right now, and it could be difficult to collect signatures at this
A lot of
time.
people won't open their doors.
Right, right. Yes. Well,
Well,
maybe,
people may be reluctant to touch surfaces that somebody else has touched. Because even though we're holding a clipboard, there's still the pen that obviously you could say is cross-contamination.
Right. Just
Not if you let everybody take a pen with them.
Yeah. That's
a
50.
different pen.
That's 50 pens. I think I could probably, whatever. I'll figure it out.
Probably 75 pens, whatever.
Or option B, if everybody wanted to take a petition for each trustee, and then each person would only have to collect 10 signatures.
That would be very generous, but I really don't think I could ask that of you guys. So,
I can do it.
if you're willing, I'd be very happy.
I would too, if you're willing.
I would be willing as well.
My suggestion is that you contact each other outside of this meeting.
Okay.
To coordinate that.
Thank you, Sandy. Sorry.
Yep. You're welcome. It's okay.
All right.
The other thing, oh, go ahead. Sorry, Rick.
I'd take for both of you.
We have to.
Moving on, please, Sandy.
Yep. The last thing else, well, not the last thing, but the payroll tax deferral, we did get some news about that. The IRS has stated in their voicemail when you call their office that this is optional and at the discretion of the employer. So we are choosing not to enact the payroll tax deferral, but we will revisit this if the Treasury or the Congress decides that those payroll taxes should be forgiven, because then there would be no risk to the library to defer those taxes. But until that happens, we are going to continue to withhold the Social Security payroll tax for the employee. And then lastly, I am going to take some time off at the end of this month, so I'll be away starting Friday, and I'll return to the office on Monday, October 5th. And of course, I'm leaving things in the capable hands of the wonderful management team. They will handle things just fine. And of course, Jackie knows how to reach me. They all know how to reach me if there's some sort of an emergency arises. But that is all for my report.
I have a question.
Yes.
My spouse told me tonight that he was contacted by somebody at the library about an interlibrary loan request that he made a very long time ago, and whether or not he was still interested in that item. And I am wondering if we are reinstituting interlibrary loan services.
Yes. Those were reinstituted on Monday, the 8th of September. We are only doing individual requests, though. We are not resuming the book discussion requests at this time.
So that item request form is available on the website again?
It is not on the actual website. It is on our catalog page. So if you go to the library's catalog, there is a link there for an item request.
Okay. All right. Nice. Thank you.
Yep. You're welcome.
Are there any other questions for Director Whitner? Okay, then I would call your attention to the departmental head reports that are on pages 49 to 59. Are there any specific questions anyone would like to direct to some of our department people are on the call, or I'm sure Sandy can answer some of the questions.
I was curious about the tree branch. I mean, that didn't cause any damage or didn't.
No, I can bring, I wasn't here for that, I don't think. But I don't think there was any damage. Let me see if, do you want me to ask Jackie?
Sure.
Jackie, are you able to unmute yourself?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
No, there was no damage whatsoever. Lee brought in his saw the following morning to take care of it, and the city had already taken care of it for him.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, so no, it was nothing whatsoever.
What's the
Great.
tree doing? Does it need replacing altogether or just,
No, it was just a branch.
okay.
Probably an old branch.
Okay, any other questions for Jackie before I let her go?
Are you gonna let me go?
Yeah.
Your history, sweetie.
I guess the only other thing I was wondering about was the handicap. So right now it's not operable, or because I saw where everybody has to open the door themselves.
Yeah, so the handicap button is operable, but for a certain period of time, library staff were actually pushing the button for individuals.
Oh, I
So
see.
we have stopped that procedure
Okay.
so that we don't break it a second time.
And before we move on, I'd just like to say I am aware that on page 54, the self-checkout station accounted for 69% of our checkouts, but I think those numbers are a little weighted for whatever reason. However, we will still have bubbles of some kind when we are all together at another time. So. All right, anything else for the departmental head reports?
I like the number of accounts that were renewed. So I thought that was great.
I have to try to find that.
Page 54 again, where it said number of.
Oh, yes. 187. So that's an automatic, well, it's a manual procedure, but the patrons no longer have to come in to renew their cards. That is a report that the staff runs and checks against a national change of address report. So it makes life a little bit easier for our card holders.
Yep.
Much so.
Question on reciprocals. Is that allowing walk-ins to check out materials as well?
Yes, it is.
Is that being system-wide? I mean, are we the only one doing that, or are others doing it as well?
I can't really speak. I don't know for sure what the others are doing, but I suspect pretty much every library is allowing reciprocal borrower use at this time.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
All right, anyone else like to make a comment?
I just would like to comment on the reading matters and getting that, and it looks excellent.
Thank you.
I think this is what you're referring to. That was probably in the mail today, and I congratulate Sandy on her article.
Yes.
Front page celebrity.
Right. And you'll see too, if you haven't already had a chance to look at it, it's definitely an abbreviated version. But Diana, Abraham, and Nora Jimenez are highlighted in there as our Spanish-speaking librarians and staff. So there is a bit of an introduction to them in Spanish. So we're hoping that that grabs the attention of some of our population that we haven't been able to reach out to in the past.
And I was just, with being there at the library yesterday, at least the signage into the library, there wasn't any in Spanish. I didn't know if there was anything going to, you know, whether something as simple as the hours or whatever. But I just noticed there was no Spanish entry into the library.
I'll talk to Kathy about that. Everything has to be translated by those other people.
Oh, yeah.
I know that several of our blog posts have been translated into Spanish completely. So, but I'm not sure
Right.
about the signage, if that's something we can work on.
Do we know about any of the stats regarding any of the Spanish, if people are clicking on that, or, you know?
No, the Spanish blog, the Spanish on the blog post is part of the English speaking blog post. So there's an English section, and then beneath that there's a Spanish translation, I believe.
Okay.
We can certainly look at that. Our challenge is, as you all know, the more signs we have,
Right.
the less people read and see.
Yeah.
So we have to be very strategic. If we are going to have some signs that are translated, we just have to be strategic about what those are so we're not overwhelming people with signs.
I think that's very important. Too many signs, none of them.
Right. Let me bring Kathy. Kathy's on the call. I'm just going to ask Kathy if she has anything to add to that. Whoops, if I use the right mouse. Kathy, are you able to unmute yourself? Maybe?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, did you have, oh, I just muted you. You might have to unmute yourself again. Yes, no?
Darn it.
There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes,
Thank you.
I'm
sorry.
here. No problem.
Do you have anything to add to that about the translated signs?
I can only repeat what Sandy has already said. We do spend a lot of time thinking about how much is too much when it comes to signage. The old adage, if everything is important, then nothing is important. So we do take that seriously, what signage we do put out. As Sandy mentioned, the blogs have the Spanish translations with our hours. And at the top of each blog is a statement in Spanish that says, en español debajo, which in Spanish below. So if Spanish speakers were inclined to be looking at our blog, they would see that note and be able to get there quickly.
Very good.
Okay, thanks, Kathy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else with respect to departmental reports? All right. Then the President's report, our next meeting will be Wednesday, October 21st. This will be a regular library board meeting. And just as an FYI, the next one will be November 18th, when we'll have the public hearing, Truth and Taxation, and the regular Board of Trustees meeting. And there are no calendar items for October, but you will see there's quite a list of things coming up for our attention in November. And again, that's on page, my glasses are steaming up, page 60. Moving on, Treasurer's Report, Trustee
Okay,
Lozano.
so I have some excellent news. When I was in yesterday at the library, Sandy was able to update me with some numbers. And so right now there was an additional $287,524. So we have a total right now of $872,222, which is 96% of our levy. So we are in really good shape, and most likely we're going to be able to obviously meet our budget and probably with no problem be able to deal with the wage increases in January. So
Excellent news. And we cash that check right now.
It's in the bank. It is in the bank.
So nobody can take it back.
No.
Anything else, Trustee Stahl?
like the only other thing I'd like to add is that at this point last year, we had collected 96% of our levy, so we are exactly where we are on target. So,
Super
and,
duper.
so what remains to be collected is $69,365. So if anybody wants to go ahead and pitch that in, we'll be all set with 100%.
All right, just tell Chris to open the checkbook for you.
Sure.
Do we ever get to 100%?
No.
To 99, I think.
I think
Like 98, 99% normally. So eventually we get that money in future years as people pay their late tax bills, but typically the audit shows we get anywhere from 98 to 99%. So this
But
was
you can
really,
always put an extra.
yeah, right.
Really good news. I mean,
Very good.
I have to say I am surprised. I really am surprised.
It's like a gift we weren't expecting, because I figured we would hit 75% and be very lucky. So this is amazing news.
The one thing I would say too that I think we're lucky in terms of, say, other governmental agencies is that because we most, if not almost all of our budget is from property taxes, and we don't have quite as large, I don't know whether to say overhead, maintenance, whatever, as, you know, when you factor in, say, sales tax or retail, you know, other taxing sources of income. I think that we're very lucky not to have had quite the impact as, say, if we depended on retail sales tax.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
Very good.
But we also might have a dicey year ahead. I just have to say, because the predictions for foreclosures are starting to really ramp up. And if that happens, then we're going to lose some property tax income.
That'll be next year, won't it?
But we
Next
will
year.
all keep our fingers crossed.
I would say it might not be next year, it may be the year after that, though. It's
Oh.
always kind of, you know,
Definitely something that we will continue to monitor, for sure. But thank you to Warrenville for paying your property taxes.
Yeah.
Well, you're more than welcome.
Thank you.
and we paid ours early this year, so.
Very good.
All right. And moving on, Secretary's report, Trustee Lazan.
Everything looks good.
Committee reports, we will defer the one committee until closed session. Any other committees? Trustee comments at this time? And of course, any other items for information and/or discussion that need to be put on the table?
Well, I actually just have a comment going back to the insurance and the question that Rick raised about spouse and family. And I know that, you know, we're going to be talking in the future about employee retention. I'm wondering if at some point we might want to get some information about how many other libraries do provide some kind of a percentage for spouses and families. And I know it's a huge expense, but it might be something for us to at least explore a little bit in terms of employee retention.
Yep, so we do have access to survey information about that. So that definitely is something that I'll be looking at in terms of employee retention. I'm actually considering whether or not we would have a flat dollar amount that we would offer to every employee, regardless of their marital or family situation, that they could choose where those dollars went, whether they went to their health insurance, to the deferred compensation plan, to an HSA, that they would have that option to choose where they put those dollars. So thank you for bringing that up, because I do think that's an important thing to look at when we talk about employee retention.
Yep, okay.
All right. If there are no other comments for discussion, then I will need, can I go into closed session and then you can cover Zoom, or how do you want me to do that?
Yes, so you'll,
Okay,
a
I need a
motion.
motion for us to enter into closed session, please.
So moved.
Well, no, we have to read the whole thing, so.
Oh, you have to read the whole thing.
19, please, Rick.
Let's see. I don't know what it is.
Are you going to read it, Rick?
No, that's fine. Go ahead.
I'll read it. I move that we go into closed session as allowed by 5 ILCS 120/2(c)(1) for the purpose of the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee of the public body or against legal counsel for the public body to determine its validity.
Okay, can I get a second, please?
I second.
That,
Okay, motion was made by Trustee Stoll and seconded by Trustee Ritzika. Is there any discussion on the motion? Okay, Trustee Warren,
aye.
Trustee Stoll,
Aye.
Trustee DeRocher,
Aye.
Trustee Lazan, Trustee Richardson,
Aye.
Trustee Ritzika. Aye. Trustee Pika also votes aye. We are now entering closed session at, hold on, my watch got 7:47.
But we have to exit, yes?
Yes, so I'm just going to say, for those of public or staff who are watching the meeting, you are welcome to stay on and see if there's any action at the end of this closed session. If you do that, just stay in the meeting that you're in. You're going to see a lovely slide that says we're in closed session. And then trustees, you're going to exit this meeting and enter the other closed session link that I
Okay.
think you have, that I forgot to send you today. Does anybody need it emailed to them?
Is
Are y'all
it
good?
different from, is it different from the yellow sheet that you gave earlier?
It is the same as the second part of the yellow sheet.
Okay.
Okay, I'll see you in that meeting. All right, now are you ready?
Yeah, and then I'm just gonna make sure you're recording and
Yep.
start a new time.
I have to. I'm gonna
pretty quiet. Do we need a fanfare?
Barbara, could you sing again, please?
You have any requests? I don't know
Oh.
any of the music from Hamilton, sorry, but all of my students do.
That's
So
exactly what I was going to request.
I should
How
really.
about let it go?
Oh, yeah, no. Absolutely.
Songs for Frozen?
Or memories from cats?
All right, are you able to hear us?
Oh, here you are.
Yes, we're back.
Okay, the current time is now 8:38 p.m. and we are back in open session.
Are we
Again,
recording?
is it recording?
Yes.
She said that. Okay, Trustee DeRocher,
Present.
Trustee Warren,
Present.
Trustee Stahl,
Present.
Trustee Richardson.
Here.
Trustee Lozano.
Here.
Trustee Rizika.
Present.
Trustee Kika is also present as Director Whitmer has rejoined us. So, we will need a motion on the items discussed in the closed session. Are you ready? Are we ready to go?
Yes,
All right, Trustee Lozano.
Do you have something wrote down?
I don't know, I'm working on it.
Okay.
We're getting there, guys.
I'll say it, you guys can say if this is right or not. So it's award a 2% increase to Director Whitmer for the first payroll in January, and award $5,000 for a career enrichment activity, with Director Whitmer researching and reporting on a plan at the January board meeting.
And the funds are to be used in this fiscal year.
And those funds are to be used in the current fiscal year.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so the motion was made by Trustee Lozano with Director Whitmer's help. Can I have a second?
Second.
Oops,
It was
hold on a minute.
seconded by Trustee Warren. I'm waiting.
Go ahead. I don't know why we're not.
Okay, so Trustee DeRocher,
Aye.
Trustee Warren,
Aye.
Trustee Richardson,
Aye.
Trustee Stahl,
Aye.
Trustee Rizika,
Aye.
Trustee Lozano,
Aye.
Trustee Pika also votes aye. The motion is on the table passes. Now we will need, unless there's anything else, another motion, and that one's to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn.
I second.
A motion was made by Trustee Stahl and seconded by Cindy Rizika. Trustee Rizika,
Aye.
Trustee Lozano,
Aye.
Trustee Warren,
Aye.
Trustee Stahl,
Aye.
Trustee Richardson,
Aye.
Trustee DeRocher.
Aye, we could have done this all together.
No, we have to have a roll call.
Because it's virtual, we have to have a roll call for every vote.
Oh my.
Okay, sorry.
Not fun. Yep.
Trustee Pika also votes aye. This meeting is now adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Sure.
Who
Bye.
did that?
Good
Well
meeting.
done, Sandy.
Trustee Rizika.
Cindy Rizika. Thank you all.